church that brings me closer to my Savior. Little bit of heaven, a whole lot of love left behind. So put a candle in the window and let it set your heart aglow.
Good morning, and how are you today? I am fine. It's been a very, maybe two more, very busy weekend. And, it's not the weekend anymore. Well, I am sure glad that we are back on solid ground again. Everything seems to be well, and I hope this finds you very good. Good morning, ma'am. Would you introduce yourself and tell the folks howdy?
Hello out there. I'm Donna Minix Proctor, and I'm happy to be here with you today. It's a busy weekend for me too.
Good. Yeah, well, I'm good. Have you ever explained yourself to...
Oh, a little bit.
Today would be a good time if you have any explanations.
I don't
want to get you in trouble now. Make sure it's legal.
I don't know that I really can explain myself totally, but...
How long have you been here working with us now?
I have been here helping out for a little less than a month, a couple of weeks. I am originally from Franklin County. I live on the farm where my parents lived when I was born. But we moved away when I was 2. My dad was with the railroad, and we spent a couple of years in Ohio, and then came back to Virginia, and I grew up in the Vinton area. And my husband and I built a house on the family farm 10 years ago, and been back here ever since. But it didn't work in the community until I started with the free clinic a little over 2 years ago. So it's been great to actually work in my home community and get to know the people in my home community instead of traveling out to Bedford or Martinsville every day like I did for,
oh my goodness, yes,
9 years.
And is it a long ride?
Well, it was. For 7 years I drove to Bedford, and for 2 I drove to Martinsville, but now I just go from home to the free clinic over in Rocky Mount, and it's a great little drive, and I can be there in 15 or 20 minutes, and it's wonderful.
That's nice. That is good. Yeah, I was on the board for years at the free clinic, and saw them through lots of things, and nice people, and still going strong. I tied up with a lot of the different community functions here, the various places, and I'm probably functionless at this moment, more so than I have been in the last 20, 25 years, except for, what's this place's name?
Cable 12?
Cable 12, that's it, except for Cable 12. And yes, I know you're tired of hearing from me, seeing from me, but I have been here for, I suppose it's been pretty close to 25 years, and am having a good time. Appreciate what Cable 12 does and means, and especially happy to be, what is your name again?
Donna.
No, I'm especially glad to have a right-hand person, and we do. I like you, and we gather together pretty good stuff.
I think we do.
Been around here long enough to greet everybody, and it's very nice. Is there anything we can do for you? Is there anything coming down the road that you would like to share with us? Let us know, and we will try to comply and get together. We've been having some sickness in the family, and yeah, it's been me, but that's okay. I am very old now, so I have to be very careful. My sister was in town. It was good to see her, and she and her husband, and just everybody in the family showed up, and I think I must have been looking poorly, so they all decided they'd better come see me, but maybe not. But great people, and Having a good time. Having a good time. So that's my middle name, Good Time Shoemaker. So what can I tell you? We're going to have some guests in this morning, and we'll take a good quick look at the newspaper first.
Yeah,
and,
I noticed right there on the front page is the article about Walmart and their remodeling and grand reopening. And I was there on Friday.
Tell us about
really
it,
nice event. They actually donated $7,000 in gifts to the area community, and that was really neat. The free clinic got $500. The sheriff's department, the town police, the Humane Society, the schools. There was the Y. There was really a large group of people there, and they'd worked really hard, and the store looked great. And I got to meet the manager and several of the folks.
You remember? Is that him?
He's a young man.
Young man.
Yes.
Who? Corey Goins.
Corey. That's right. Yeah, Corey. And Susan Ferris. She's always real helpful with the grants program. And her sister-in-law, Wanda English, works with us. She's our medication assistance program person, and our pharmacy tech. So we have a little connection to the local Walmart, and they've just been real generous to help out the community. And it was a wonderful event, and I enjoyed being there. And I'm really thankful to them for their gift, for their donation.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, we were talking as we just before we started, and I was trying to remember when I first came down to Cable 12. It's been many moons now, but I guess probably 20 years. But I don't know. But in any event, I enjoy the people, I enjoy the place, and I think we do good by the community, and the community does good by us. And I really have had a good time, and it's great to be here yet again. Pretty nice out.
Yes, it's nice lovely out. This morning.
60-some.
Yeah, it's
morning.
really beautiful today.
So I don't know what's going to happen as we get into the summer. It's very hard to tell, but the weather reporting doesn't seem to be quite what it used to be. We used to get a lot more information. I suppose if I was poking, I could probably get more information, but it's not been an easy way to get what's happening. So I'll watch, and when it happens, I'll just know it.
Yeah, well, it's been, I'm glad we've gotten some cool weather. We got so warm so quickly this year. I thought, oh no, we're going right in February we had 80-degree days. And
I don't think it's been as warm as it was up front.
No, it wasn't. I miss those cool days, so I kind of like the sweater weather. I'm kind of glad we've got some cool spring days. I like those. But I was listening this morning, they were talking about the bees, and a lot of the beekeepers in this area are having uncertainty about what's going on with the bees because the flowers bloomed so early, and so it's kind of shaken up the cycle that the bees go through in the summertime. The beekeepers are having a little of uncertainty. So interesting.
Do you know what opioid antidote is?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well,
this is on the front page.
Yep.
You haven't gotten to it, and it's something that interests me, and there's some pictures and news on it. So can you bring us up to date?
We have an opioid addiction problem here in the county, in the state, in the nation. What has happened is that there's been so many people prescribed pain medication that's turned into an illegal drug trade for those pain medications that are derivatives of opium. You know, they're the opioids, the OxyContin and the oxycodone and all of those. And for some people, when they've had a lot of pain issues, it will lead into an addiction to illegal drugs. And so there's a huge number of people these days that are addicted to those opioids. And a lot of them will turn to things like heroin and street drugs like that when they can no longer get the pain medication. So it's a terrible problem. But what happens is that they can easily overdose with the street version of these drugs because or they're abusing a prescription drug, and they can easily overdose because they're a depressant, and they decrease the breathing and all of that, and so it can easily kill. Well, there is a drug that can be given now that counteracts the effects of that. So if somebody is overdosing and is at the point of getting so they can't breathe and all of that, it can be administered, and most all the sheriff's department, police department cars carry that now. We have it at the free clinic. There are other places that you can get it, so that if someone comes to you with an opioid overdose, they can be treated and kept from dying from that.
Is that the stuff that I'm familiar with, that Narcan?
Right, Narcan.
It has a couple of names.
Right, Narcan is sort of the general. That's not the chemical name of it,
Right.
but Narcan is the sort of the terminology that everybody goes with and recognizes.
Well, there's the article in the paper on the front page says there, if administered to someone who isn't overdosing on an opioid, it has no ill effects. As of May, the 12 agencies in our neighborhood, our company and our location in Rocky Mount have administered an estimated 121 times naloxone, and that does not mean anything to me.
Well, that's the more chemical name, but it's
chemical.
It's
okay.
It is Narcan is sort of the generally known name, but it really can help that. But it's a stopgap. It keeps that person from dying at that point, but it doesn't stop the addiction. And so we still need to do more. We need more help in terms of our mental health offerings in this county and everywhere else. There just aren't enough mental health workers and enough mental health assistance available to help people get off of those drugs. It's a very, very difficult process.
That's the drug itself is serious then.
Oh yes, I mean the addiction is just, it's really terrible, and to get people off of it is very, very, very difficult.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a kind of a joking saying, but it's really true. The lack of mental health workers in this country drives me crazy. But it really, we don't have enough help. There's so much stress these days, and people have so many issues. We really don't help. Our local Piedmont Community Services is just overwhelmed.
Do you think there is more of that now?
Yes.
And that's difficult.
Yeah.
Difficult. Seems like it's unnecessary, but it seems like it's not controllable. It seems like there's a dependency on things of that nature, and of course that's, as long as I can remember, that's been in existence, something, but they're coming out today with names that you haven't heard about.
Oh yeah.
I keep wondering whether somebody is just changing the name so it looks like something different.
Well, sometimes that's what it is too. So,
really?
But it's just it's a real issue. I mean, we have a real issue with being an over-medicated society in general these days. We take a pill for anything, and so there's just this general kind of idea that that's one of the things that's added to the addiction, and also stress and other things. And I'm sure there are lots of people that know a whole lot more about it than I could do.
But I'm glad that you were happy to give us the up-to-date. You're involved in medical, and that's very, very important, and I thank you very much. You know, by now you have met this lady, and you know that she is here sitting with me, and I'm grateful, and she's a good human being. I'll tell you, great person, and we've had various talks on everything going on in the community and everything going on and what we're talking about. I've been doing it for many, many years now, and I'm still enjoying it. A couple people tell me I'm crazy because I'm still here, and I say, well, that's true. But, you know, there's always to get a crazy person or two in. Sometimes, don't laugh at me. I know what you're saying. But, it's so neat to see Walmart remodeling and
yeah, if you have a chance, go by there and see the store.
Take a
It really
look at
looks
it.
great.
The manager of the store is Corey Goins, and it's funny or strange. The store opened 21 years ago. I was there and met the manager, and I was turning my brain, as it were, inside out to remember the 2 or 3 people I got to know. And I'll tell you who else worked with me, Sam Campbell. Yeah, Sam and I got together, and we did a lot of things in Walmart, and volunteer and otherwise, but they're quite a place to be, and it has grown. And the new manager, as I said, is Corey Goins, who is July 17th. That's when it opened. Couldn't remember. I was down here and went in and talked and met everybody. And what's that old man that worked there for a long time? We were talking about him earlier. God bless his wife. She worked there. You know, so. Oh my goodness, we're under arrest. I better be nice, you know. But so just nice to talk and recollect. And who were we talking about earlier? The gentleman who I said his wife passed away.
I'm sorry, I'm not much help this morning.
I'm old enough to have an excuse. She's not. But there's some good stories in today's paper about the library. They are seeking some good information and trying to get people there. And can you imagine girls soccer? 12 to nothing. They slaughtered G.W. Danville.
Wow.
And I mean, I'm okay with it, but it's just an overwhelming win.
We had some good times watching soccer games. Our youngest son played, well, both of them played soccer, but our younger son stuck with it a bit longer. And the parents had a great time in the stands watching the soccer games too. That was a lot of fun.
You have to watch how you do that, because you know, a lot of times parents take over, and a lot of times parents come up with ideas. And I guess I haven't coached in a couple of years, but I've done it for 50 years at least. But of course, my sport has been baseball. I played baseball in high school, college, and do you believe I'm a pitcher? I had a curve. I had an in-shoot. Anybody know what an in-shoot is?
Not me.
A drop. You know what a drop is, Ossifer?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. He must be near as old as I am.
Well,
There's a lot of good pitches that I enjoyed myself. I was born in Canada, lived there for a long time, and moved to, family came from New York, and we moved to New York and lived there, and I played baseball. And married my high school sweetheart, married my grade school sweetheart, my kindergarten. No, I gotten on Long Island, not quite that young, but Carol was a doll. She was went to the high school I did, and we married when we were 17 and 18.
Wow.
And came down to, after I got out of the Navy, decided not to mess around. So here I am.
Came to God's country then.
You boy, am I glad on that. I'm taking a look at what we've got here. We just, it was just a good morning, and just decided we'd just sit and talk about each other a little bit, and we'll do that again one morning. I didn't tell you I was going to do that, so you kind of picked it up and ran with it, but we're going to do that a couple more times, because I've had a couple people ask me, and one of them was a person that now I can't even remember the name of the place. And as a child, teenager, I went there on Long Island, and oh my goodness, that's terrible. No, it's age. I can't tell you. But I used to always go there. I took Carol. Carol and I were married 50 years, and then along came bad news, and I married Dee, and Dee and Carol were best of friends. And I come to find out that Carol had talked a lot to Dee. And she still wanted to marry me when I asked her. So I said,
there you
whoa,
go. There you go.
So, just a couple of things,
My husband and I were high school sweethearts too.
Isn't that neat?
Yep. We started dating when we were juniors in high school, and got married at 20, and have been married 43 years.
Wow.
Now I'm telling my age.
Do tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. It's interesting. Oh, I wanted to read this to you. Somebody gave me this, and I can't remember who. May your home be blessed with the courage of compassionate hearts, seeing the greatness in every soul. May the garden of your heart bloom with even the smallest of kind acts, giving your life the gift of divine purpose. I've read that for years, and I don't think it's that old, but, well, I'm not that old, so maybe that's why. But I just thought I'd share that with you today.
Well, I hope everybody remembered their mothers yesterday.
Yeah, Mother's Day.
I hope all the mothers out there had a nice day.
Wow. Dates, holidays, things to celebrate, kind of sneak up on me nowadays. But I knew that one was coming.
The children did the service at church yesterday. That was really neat.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, the kids did the whole service, the message and the scripture and the music and everything. It was really neat.
Well, I had a busy week. And that sounds like something's coming. I missed church yesterday, but that was the excuse. But anybody, everybody that was with us, they all finally went home, and I enjoyed having them. And you see, where I live, lots of family there. And I got my son-in-law to come over and start cutting the grass and getting that going, and I think we're going to be all right. So just keep on keeping on. Just thought I'd sit and reminisce and talk a little bit, and this is not a particularly
No, we don't have a lot of new things, so if the folks out there have something they want to share with the community, they need to send it in to us, fax it or email it, so that we can share it on the air. Not a lot of new things.
Nothing
to
illegal.
Share today.
I just only say, because I got the police nearby, so if they're going to tell me something that they shouldn't have done, don't do it. But all right, Aging Services Plant Exchange. That's something that I haven't really discussed. But That, I think, is just concluded, but let me look at my wristwatch and I will tell you. Because that was a pretty good idea. What is the day?
Today's the 15th. Yeah.
All right, well, this actually takes place Wednesday, May 17th.
So you've got a couple of days on that one.
It's at the Essex Center. And door prizes, flowers, aging services, plant exchange. Now that means that there are services relative to planting that you can exchange the plants. We don't exchange old people, so I want you to remember that. That's, boy, I wouldn't have much left, would I? I had one of my grandchildren, well, I have 25, 20, almost 25, 30, almost 35 grandchildren.
Wow.
I say almost because I can't remember exactly, but it's, lots of them. And they were asking me questions. And some of them ask interesting questions. Some of them ask questions I almost can't figure out. But some of them come up and you can always tell. Grandpa, what if you, and then I say, ooh, somebody else get in here.
I had the cutest question like that from my granddaughter. I have 3 grandchildren, and the oldest is Eva. She's almost 6 years old. She'll be 6 years old on the 20th. And this has been a little while ago, but they were visiting. They live in Northern Virginia. And in fact, they're going to be headed to Algeria soon. But anyway, she was sitting in my kitchen, and she looked at me, and she said, Nana, that's what she calls me, is Nana. She said, you might already know this because old people are smart, but do you know that giraffes have purple tongues? That's what she said to me.
And you said...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
did you research it?
It just cracked me up because she said, you might already know this because old people are smart. That's just so cute, so childlike.
Giraffes have purple tongues? Huh? In your training, you didn't learn how important that is? If it's not a purple-tongued giraffe, we got to leave it alone.
Kids are something. They're something.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move right into our encounter with the law. So you notice that we do that 2-3 times a month, and I am so grateful to the Franklin County Police and the town police and all the people that come in that spend time talking and bringing us up to date, but more importantly, taking care of us. And I don't mind using that term because they do take good care of us, and they're great people. Now that I've said that, I don't even want to talk to them. All right, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll invite the law in, and we'll see what's going on out there, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you. Sir.
Hello, how are you?
We are okay.
When it comes to your eyesight, you want to know you are in good hands. Vistar Eye Center provides an accomplished staff of doctors with a wide range of specialties so you can know you are getting the treatment you need. And now, we are bringing that experience to the Rocky Mount community. Following Dr. Al Engel's retirement, Vistar's Dr. Troy Mislevic will be leading the former Engel Eye Center office and is looking forward to connecting with Rocky Mount patients. Trust Vistar Eye Center, where your sight is our vision.
Uttermost. Unique name, unique company. The name Uttermost comes from the Bible, Acts chapter 1, verse 8. This verse expresses our personal beliefs to share God's Word to the uttermost part of the earth. Our marketing plan is similar in that we work to sell our products to all parts of the earth. Uttermost was started in 1975 and is still family-owned today. We are now the largest wholesaler of decorative home furnishings in the United States. Our products include mirrors, art, clocks, decorative accessories, lamps, lighting fixtures, permanent botanicals, and accent furniture. We even have decorative dog beds. To learn more about Uttermost, visit our website at www.uttermost.com.
Hello, Franklin County. It's Doug Williams with Budget Blinds. And we're your turnkey solution to all your window covering needs. I hope you're watching Franklin County Cable 12 Sports, where we bring to you the umpires and the officials each and every week. And every time a bad call is made, that is brought to you by the blind guys. Is this year you're building that new house? How about adding on that sunroom you've been talking about? Well, here at Budget Blinds, we're here to help. The consultation is free, we do the work, and it's all backed by our 5-year no questions asked warranty. This year, let the blind guys help you see the possibilities.
Their sound shaped music for generations to come. Toto. June 8th, Harvester Performance Center. Tickets on sale now.
Uttermost. Unique name, unique company. The name Uttermost comes from the Bible. Acts chapter 1, verse 8. This verse expresses our personal beliefs to share God's Word to the uttermost part of the earth. Our marketing plan is similar in that we work to sell our products to all parts of the earth. Uttermost was started in 1975 and is still family-owned today. We are now the largest wholesaler of decorative home furnishings in the United States. Our products include mirrors, art, clocks, decorative accessories, lamps, lighting fixtures, permanent botanicals, and accent furniture. We even have decorative dog beds. To learn more about Uttermost, visit our website at www.uttermost.com.
Doyle Custom Embroidery is your family-owned, faith-based choice for custom embroidery, screen printing, and heat printing right here in Franklin County. If you want to improve your business's image, promote your event, or just create your own custom product, then Doyle Custom Embroidery is your choice. We can embroider anything that will hold a stitch. Check out our huge selection of quality products at dcestore.com. And remember, we'll keep you in stitches.
My name is Philip Fano, and I run the bakery in Farmville, Virginia. I started this bakery 10 years ago. The whole idea was, I'm from Belgium. I wanted bread, real bread. There was no bread here, so I said, well, I'll make the bread. I have Chantel for internet, phone lines, and also for the credit card processing. If I wouldn't have the phone service or the internet service, we would be completely out of business because we rely on it very much here. My business runs on Chantel.
When it comes to your eyesight, you want to know you are in good hands. Vistar Eye Center provides an accomplished staff of doctors with a wide range of specialties so you can know you are getting the treatment you need. And now, we are bringing that experience to the Rocky Mount community. Following Dr. Al Engel's retirement, Vistar's Dr. Troy Mislevic will be leading the former Engel Eye Center office and is looking forward to connecting with Rocky Mount patients. Trust Vistar Eye Center, where your sight is our vision.
My name is Philip Fano, and I run the bakery in Farmville, Virginia. I started this bakery 10 years ago. The whole idea was, I'm from Belgium. I wanted bread, real bread. There was no bread here, so I said, well, I'll make the bread. I have Chantel for internet, phone lines, and also for the credit card processing. If I wouldn't have the phone service or the internet service, we would be completely out of business because we rely on it very much here. My business runs on Chantel.
Their sound shaped music for generations to come. Toto. June 8th, Harvester Performance Center. Tickets on sale now.
This is Dick Shoemaker. I am still hanging around, and here I stay, and my sidekick is looking across at me, and then the law is in here too, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Ma'am.
Well, you know me already. I'm Donna Proctor. Happy to be here today.
Thank you.
I'm Officer Ryan King with the Rocky Mount Police Department. I am the Community Resource Officer for the Rocky Mount Police Department, or for the town of Rocky Mount.
Well, we are so pleased to see you, and so pleased that you come in and make yourself available to us. Everybody, who is your best friend? I grew up in a community that my best friend was the policeman. I've had a lot of people tell me that, and I was born in Canada. We had Canadian policemen there. They were okay too. And then I moved to New York, and lived my entire youth and just virtually until I came to Virginia. That was the only place I lived, and ended up with policemen in the family, and ended up with somebody in the family marrying a cop, and then all on and on and on. So I have to be careful what I say. See, he's even a pretty nice guy.
He's a real nice guy.
Oh, he's a real nice guy. Oh, I said that wrong. He's a real nice guy. We are so fortunate to have the police in here on a regular basis, keeping us aware, making us aware. And I thank you for that. And then during the course of doing that, you generally allow us to bring up things that maybe you can deal with, that we can find out something.
Yeah, you do a great job doing that, by the way.
Even if I can. I think that's a good thing, but I'm not sure because I haven't tripped them up yet. But no. I really enjoy the folks on the force. They are great people, and they have a very important job, and they have a very difficult job. But each one of them, in their own way, helps this community do even better things. And I'm just anxious for the first thing to happen down there at the place that we built on the corner as a town for the American Legion.
Yeah, for the Memorial Day service.
And the Memorial Day service, we've had many services there, and, since they remodeled the whole corner in the area. And 20 years ago it was a different thing, but that's another good thing. I am just very happy to be in Franklin County and Rocky Mount and the surrounding area, and I got to talking to my wife about it, and she said, "Why don't you talk more about it?" And I said, "Well, I think everybody knows about it, but but in any event, I took her advice, as you notice."
And we are just so lucky to have the police department that we do here in the town, and I have gotten to know Officer King in several different capacities and know that he's just a wonderful spokesman for the department, and is building networks and is building relationships in this county that are so important, not only to us, the citizens in the county, but also important to the ultimate goal of making this community safer.
Right.
Because when we're all partnering together, when we're working together, and he knows us and we know him, and like you said, Dick, it's like calling on a friend.
Yeah. Right.
It's like calling on a friend.
And that's really the goal, not just for the Rocky Mount Police Department as a whole, but personally. Law enforcement, everybody knows law enforcement has changed throughout the years. And we've had our ups and downs, but one thing that stays constant, and I could speak for every law enforcement person all through the United States that's getting up, that's been up this morning, that puts the uniform on, regardless of negativity that we hear. We still have a job we have to do, and that main goal is to protect their local community. I know that's the same with me. When I put this uniform on, it's a pride. It's a sense of pride and going, well, I'm getting up, I'm getting out here, and we're making a difference. And I could speak for probably 99.9% of law enforcement. When it's about getting up and making a difference and serving your community, it's nothing else. And that's the mentality that you have to have every day. Regardless of what you hear. You just keep moving forward, and because overall it is about your community. It is about protecting your local community and trying to make that difference and trying to change. She brought up a very interesting point. When I go and I talk to organizations and I talk to people and I visit different businesses and nonprofit organizations, such as Bernard Healthcare, United Way, I bring them up as well, STEP Incorporated. It's I know if I come into contact with somebody in the community that is struggling in some way, shape, or form, whether that be, they need food, or they need, health care, or they're having trouble.
Car repairs.
Right, car repairs. I'm able, or AEP bill, they're struggling, their power's getting ready to be turned off, and it's getting ready to be hot this week, this week, over 90 degrees, at some point. And they may have little kids. That family may be doing the best that they can. Mm-hmm. But life happens, and we understand that. And if I'm able to go, well, you know what? I know here's a card from Bernard Healthcare. Maybe they need some diapers. Maybe they need some formula. Go see Miss Minix. Mm-hmm. And or their power is about to get shut off, and direct them to Step Incorporated, to get them the right help. And the whole, a lot of folks are going, well, what does that have to do with police? Well, it has everything to do with us, because I see it linked to crime, okay? Mm-hmm. Because that person that's struggling, if they don't know that these programs exist, people that are struggling, are desperate. And desperate people do things that sometimes, is against the law. And if we're able to help them, in the end, that may prevent somebody that was getting ready to shoplift or getting ready to break the law, and it may prevent that. And in turn, that takes that prevents crime. Right. And that's what it's all about.
Being proactive.
Yeah. Trying to prevent it.
We appreciate that, and we appreciate you, and to make sure that we understand that. Mm-hmm. And I thank you for that. Is there anything else that you wanted to say? I'm serious. This is a. Well, sometimes I think about what do we need to do. Mm-hmm. Talking about where you work, Johnny Bernard was a good friend. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Johnny Bernard was one of my best friends, and he'd smile a lot, but he never said a whole lot.
Well, I find those folks, they're always thinking, mm-hmm. and which is I mean, they have a building named after them.
Yeah, we're really grateful to Jean. She was our founder. Yep. Jean Bernard was the founder, and that's why we call ourselves the Bernard Healthcare Center. And we have, the umbrella is there that has other services other than the free clinic.
Were you here did you ever meet Mr. Bernard?
I never met him, No, I have had the pleasure of meeting her and spending some time with her.
She's a gem.
Wonderful, wonderful lady. Yeah. So.
Have you ever been to the building?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
it's
great.
It's wonderful.
Great place, done well.
Yes,
done
it's
well,
really nice.
and the usage of it is astounding. Mm-hmm. It's always been a good place, but in more recent years, it's been built up and fixed up and cleaned up.
Definitely,
is in good shape and is definitely.
Well, the staff over there, you can't ask for a better staff.
No,
I mean, you can't. I know every one of them. I mean, they're good folks.
They're great people. Yeah. But we're not here to talk about that today. No. We're here to talk about what's going on with you guys. So tell us what's going on.
Did you look in the paper, ladies and gentlemen? Did you see that picture in the paper? This is talk about Local Hero Day.
Local Hero Day. This is going to be, the Rocky Mount Police Department teamed up with the Rocky Mount Public Library, or the Franklin County Public Library, and we are having Local Hero Day. We have done this in the past. It was very successful. It was very hot that day, but so we moved it to May 20th. That's this Saturday, May 20th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the idea is to have all the local first responders, their departments, bring their vehicles, wear their uniforms. And it's to show families and the community, and really we're kind of targeting little kids or youth to understand what different departments do, what their different uniforms, and there'll be demonstrations, and we'll have tables set up, handing out free stuff, and it's just going to be a great time. So we're very excited about it.
It's always a good thing to do, because when you have problems, your best friend is a policeman.
That's right.
That's
a
right.
policewoman, whomever. That's the person that can be a solver of many, many things, and somebody you learn to look up to. This gentleman here is a real neat guy, and I've gotten to know him well enough to know that I'm glad that he is on our side, but I'm also very pleased with what the police department does, and the police department kind of looks at it as a blend between the town and everybody that lives here and what needs to happen.
Definitely. We want to make sure that the public knows that whatever, if not just you don't have to call us when you have a problem, okay? You could come by the department anytime, stop by, if you have any questions, you want to take a tour, just stop by, let us know. But we want to make sure that folks know we're very approachable. I think that the community at one time had it in their mind, that law enforcement officers, we're not approachable, because we're so busy or for whatever reason. And we live in a very unique little town. It's great. The community is very close knit. I know this because some of the past events that we've had, we have all kinds of people from different walks of life. We all come together, as a community, and we have a great time. And we have people come up to us and go, hey, you guys might. Well, we have a lot of people that speed on our road, or for whatever reason, it's different. And that's what we need to know. We need to know all that data so we know where to place, where we need to patrol more, or maybe there's a house, that has increased traffic, and there may be some issues in your community. Well, let us know. We'll take care of it.
I think it's an immense addition and just a needed thing to keep us safe. We are, I was in banking. We were talking earlier, and the sheriff, and the chief of police, and everybody would always come in and we'd talk, and they were just great people that they would do anything in the world for you. Now, this is like about a dozen, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well,
8,
that's
9,
I could
10.
look at. I'm sitting here looking at this old
Is
picture.
this 13 people?
Well, this is 13 people from different. You got different departments here. You got the Virginia State Police was there. Okay. You had the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. You had the Virginia Conservation Police. You had the Rocky Mount Fire Department. You had public safety, and of course we had canines, and but it's different departments, different first responders. Boone's Mill Police Department, Ferrum College Police Department. They're not pictured in here, but they're going to be there as well. But it's different, different departments, different police officers, different agencies, and kids get confused sometimes.
Sure, because all the uniforms are really different. You have the state police that have the Smokey Bear hats.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Then you have the town that has the dark blue or black. Is that?
It's blue.
Blue, dark blue, and then you have the sheriff's department that's brown, and so that's a good thing. You need to bring the kids out, let them see that an officer of the law can be in different kinds of uniforms, and you have the conservation people that are, I guess they're in a green.
They
or
are.
something.
They
wear
are in a green.
And that all of those people are trained to help if there's a need for that. Plus, the kids love to see the cars.
Oh gosh, yes.
Hear the sirens, and my personal favorite, of course, is the police dogs. I just think they are so cool. Do you know that those dogs are trained in another language? They're not trained in English.
Yes, I remember that very well.
I think that's so fascinating.
It's amazing.
The last one I got to see at an event similar to that, the dogs were trained in Romanian.
Really? Yeah, a lot of them are trained, in a different language.
They have a different language, so that no one else can command them. Only their partner is the one that can command them. I just think that's so cool.
Well, it is, and I got to know a lot of police, and most of you that know me and what I used to do, about 50 years, I was a banker, and a lot of that time was spent here in Rocky Mount. And the police and the sheriff and chief of police and everybody, I got very comfortable with them, and that's what we are talking about this just for a brief minute to make sure that you understand how important that is. And every one of the people, every one of the folks on staff or involved was my friend. Is that a fair statement?
It is. My chief of police, who is actually pictured right there, and to get chiefs, to get chiefs, coming to an event. I mean, my chief, he comes to just about every event.
His name?
Chief Ken Kreiner.
Ken Kreiner.
And his whole philosophy, I remember when he first became chief, and we all go in the meeting, and he's going over several things, and one of the things that he said was, town is not very big. He said it's about 6.5 square miles. And he said, you guys understand that? And we were like, yes, sir. And he goes, well, there is no reason why everybody in this community should not know who every officer that works for the Rocky Mountain Police Department is by name.
Yep.
And he goes, so get out, go introduce yourselves, go in the banks, speak to the employees there. Let them know who you are, and let them know what you're there for. And, I mean, that's what it's all about. And it's funny, I go into businesses all the time. I take other office, we all go into the schools, we all go into all the businesses, and people, it's caught on. And trust me, it's wonderful when you're going down the road and people are waving at you. Yep. I mean, and it's different from other places. We have people from the Harvester that come and visit our town and are like, this is a wonderful town. And then you have people honking the horn, waving at the police. Sure. And they're like, wow, that's different. And and so it's wonderful.
Well, we thank you for that. And I mean, and I don't mean, I'm not minimizing it. I'm not trying to embarrass you.
Oh no.
But it's really something that I have learned. Being in banking, I have learned that a long time ago. And first two people I knew, well, Quint was the first one I knew when I moved here a long time ago. He was the sheriff then.
Oh, yeah.
But now his son is the sheriff, He was about that big then when I met him. But in any event, great people doing great things, and present company included. Here you sit, and we're so grateful that you have managed to come in and talk about what's going on and talk about what makes the police work and just other little things. You're always coming up with something, and then I picked this particular picture up out of the newspaper, and there's one of every variety of police person that you could possibly want to know, and there they are.
And that's the idea.
And all the policemen, with the exception of one four-legged one, is not. They're all looking at the camera, and everybody else is. That one is looking.
Yeah, and that's Andy Pendleton. You know Andy Pendleton?
Yeah, I do, and it's. And being a banker, I got to know the police. Every once in a while, something happened negatively in the bank, and I, in my lifetime, was never so pleased to see people as I was when that happens.
That's right. That's the real upside. Well, there's a lot of good people who work for the police department in the town, so it's good to get to know them just because they're good people. But also, if you have a relationship with the officers that serve the town, and then you have a question, right, or you have a problem, then it's like calling a neighbor to come and help, as opposed to that official person with the badge.
Right.
You've already got a relationship with that person. Oh, well, I know Officer King, and I'm just going to call him and see if he'll come by and help me with this issue. Of course, if it's a real emergency, you always call 911. You don't fool around with that. But maybe it's just a question. Like back a while back, there was a burglary at the pharmacy that's behind where Bernard Healthcare Center and the free clinic is. And so I called the sheriff's, the police department, and I said, you know, I'm not really worried. You know, I know that's all over, and I know you guys patrol anyway. But would you just kind of take a tour around and shake the door handles and that sort of thing, and make sure that everything's okay at the clinic? And they did that. And for several days after that, they would come by and more than just go through the parking lot, but actually come in and try the doors and make sure that everything was locked up for us. And that's we really appreciate that.
Oh.
You know, and it wasn't an emergency situation, so I just called them on their regular number, and they said, sure, we'll be happy to do that for you.
The beauty of it is it doesn't have to be an emergency.
No, it doesn't.
If it's not an emergency and you just want to talk or you want to get something answered,
yes,
you are a hero. Yes, I mean that very seriously. No, wait, now, don't shake your head no. Say, I'm not going to take that. No. But it is the truth. I was born and raised with sheriffs in the family and with heroes out there, and always believed. And I didn't know I was going to be a banker at the time, so. But we are so fortunate because the personalities and the style, as well as the preparedness and the way they do it. I thank you very much. And
it takes a special person to serve. It really does, because of the requirements of the job. You have physical requirements. You have lots of learning type requirements. I mean, it's extensive in terms of what you have to do.
It's 6 months of your life in the academy. I mean, and you have to make a lot of people don't know this. Every test you take in the Commonwealth of Virginia to be a police officer, you have to make 100%. 100%. A lot of folks don't realize that, and it's tough. And you know, I'll never forget the academy. I mean, it was probably one of the most stressful times, you know, well, in my life.
Sure.
And but you know, every officer, every state trooper, everybody you see that's been through the academy, they've went through the same thing, and it's 100%. They don't take, they're very strict.
Right.
And they have to be.
So it's the requirements of the job are huge, and the compensation is not good. I mean, unfortunately, we don't pay our public servants as well as they deserve. But
and we know that. We know that going in. They tell us in the academy. You know, those of you that are sitting in here, if you think you're going to get rich doing this job, you got another thing coming. But we don't do it for that.
No, that's right. That's right. That was my point exactly. You don't go into this because you're going to make a lot of money. You go into it because you want to serve, and that's what we need to remember, that they do this out because they have a calling to this work, and we need to respect them and admire them for that. And they're willing, just like teachers, you know, they're willing to give. That's what they want to do. They care about people, and that's what they want to do.
Well, we have a lot in common with teachers as far as what the drive and what's in your heart, and especially dealing with kids. Everybody knows I do a lot for the schools, with the schools, and I pay extra special attention to our children, our youth, because they're being bombarded with so much negative things these days, and you know, so the positive interaction with them is very important to me and very important to our department. We're in the schools every single day, several times a day. We visit, you know, teachers. We go into the classrooms. We interact with them. We even do anti-bullying, you know, presentations, and we take the dog in there. We read to them. We do a lot of things with our children, and it's to, you know, as they grow up, they're going to go, well, I know Officer King, or I know Officer Pendleton, you know, I know Officer Lamy, and you know, and as they grow up into an adult, they're going to remember, well, you know what, I remember he used to read to us.
Yeah.
But it also takes that negativity out of their mind to go, you know, they're not like that at all, and that's our main goal.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we're
that's
very
the reason
grateful.
for your.
That's the reason for this.
your day. And tell us again about that.
Local Hero Day. All the departments get together. Local first responder, such as the Virginia State Police, Franklin County Sheriff's Office, Rocky Mount Police Department.
They're all pictured.
They're all pictured. That's right.
In this picture here that was actually been in the paper and been seen around, but they're all whatever department or area they
That's right.
cover.
So Franklin County Public Safety. I could go on and on. Rocky Mount Fire Department. And if I'm missing out, hopefully Boone's Mill Police Department, Ferrum College Police Department. These are places that a lot of folks don't realize that there are police departments at. Ferrum College Police Department. A lot of people don't realize that they have a police department there. Yeah. And that's where I started my career. Actually, was the Ferrum College Police Department. And I tell you, the college atmosphere is one of the main reasons why, I'm able to speak with people. I've never met they always make a joke and say he's never met a stranger, and that's in that working there helped me talk to a variety of people because they're from all parts of the country, the folks there, and so it's able to have that positive interaction with folks, and it's helped my career out tremendously. So I always try to get Ferrum College Police Department involved with programs such as this, because I think sometimes they're forgotten. And and so it's getting everybody together because they wear blue as well. Most of the time police officers are their uniforms are blue, and then of course the sheriff's office is brown, but there are different types and it's confusing to children. And so come to the library May 20th from 10 to 1 at the Mary Elizabeth Park. Bring your children, bring your family. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And see the fire trucks.
That's
and
right.
Police cars.
Right. Demonstrations with. Hopefully, we're going to have some canine demonstrations. I know that we've. I mentioned it. It's planned. Sometimes
Something
work.
Comes up,
something comes up and they can't do it. And but we'll have the fire department there with their trucks. Well, our cars there, of course. You hit the siren, have a lot of fun, and then we'll also have some things to hand out to our community as well. I know it's Ramble Weekend, but a lot of folks will go, well, I don't know what we're going to do with our kids. Well, bring them over. Come on.
To where?
Mary Elizabeth Park at 10 a.m. Till 1.
In case there's a newcomer in the community, where is Mary Elizabeth Park?
Mary Elizabeth Park is right behind the Franklin County Library. Actually, it's the Franklin County Library, and then it's
Franklin Center.
To the Franklin Center. It's right behind the Franklin Center. You can't miss it. It's let's see, off of Franklin Street. If you know where the farmers market is in town, you'll know where the park is.
That's it. That's the easiest way.
Right up behind there, yep.
Easiest way to know.
Easiest way. And there's plenty of parking through there. That's not going to be an issue.
That's going to be May 20th, and that's on a Saturday.
Yep, that's this Saturday.
And is it that soon? Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad we decided to talk about it today. But it's this Saturday from 10 to 1 to meet the fire, rescue, and law enforcement folks, the heroes, the people that keep this being. I maintain that there is a difference about living in a place like that or having some place that people will make it like that, because you can't be responsible for every human being, even every dog. So they are out there, and you need to meet them. You need to come out and see. You need to learn. And you've probably seen a policeman out on the road that you or your children have wanted to say hello to. And just remember, they are your very, very serious friend. They really are. They watch out for you. They take care of you. And there's so many things that they can do. And it's interesting. In the event there's rain, it'll be in the library.
Yes.
So, but Local Hero Day, and like the reference, and you know, anybody that carries a gun, anybody that is chasing after the bad guys, anybody that, somebody told me recently that I needed to say guys and gals. Well, I still can't say that. So the bad guys. And I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart from the station and from the community, and it's just very comforting and very good. And you have just attached yourself magnificently. We've gotten to know you and the other policemen that are out on the walk and just taking care of business. And it's so neat. It's so almost taken for advantage. And just to say this is the way it is, and they're out there. And
well, we call it positive policing.
Positive policing.
That's what. And
that's a very good term.
And it's working. And I coined that term, I guess it was about 3 years ago in an interview and people remember it. And
oh yeah.
I say it all the time now, and it's a proven method.
Well, everybody was interested that day they took this picture.
Yeah.
Oh, almost everybody.
I don't know.
Police dogs are independent.
Look, I don't know what he was looking at, but look at his handler.
However, I learned to say, if there's a police dog nearby and he's turning and looking, let him look.
Let him look.
Yeah, because there may be a reason for it.
And that is Canine Eno.
Eno, okay.
Eno.
I thought that's who he was, but it's the. So this will be held at Mary Elizabeth Park.
Yes.
This will be, and that's a neat little place to go. And they'll then, in the event there is rain, that you go into the library.
Yes.
And that's not as good a place, but yet it's fine.
I've checked out the forecast and you know, on the weather app, and it looks like it's going to be great weather. So I don't think we'll have an issue with it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here.
So come on.
Our police on the job, taking care of business, weather person has informed us.
I'm the new weatherman at Cable 12.
Whoa.
It's going to be hot this week, but it's going to be sunny.
Remember, Ryan T. King, that's the person that you see here. And that's the person here that is taking time to come down here and talk to us. And then lo and behold, Local Hero Day will be held on May 20th, and come on out and introduce them.
Bring the kids.
Introduce them, make them, you know, it's always important for the children to see, because children don't start being worried and afraid. Children don't.
They don't.
And any policeman that I've ever known always pursued that.
Yes.
And that was their buddy.
Well, that's the main thing. I could remember as a child the first time I came in contact with a law enforcement officer, and it was a CHIP officer, California Highway Patrol officer.
Right.
And I remember how scared I was, because he just the uniform, the badge, going, wow. But now that I think about it, I don't know if it was more or less scared or just, wow, this is the coolest thing ever.
Right, just a little bit nervous,
but just a little bit intimidated. But once you get to know him, because he took the time, and I kind of, attribute that to me becoming a police officer. That was the seed that was planted. Going, wow, this is what I want to do. That.
Oh, I think about my sons. I have a cousin who was sheriff of Amherst County for many years. He recently has retired, but I remember going to visit his family when he was still living at home before he became sheriff, and he was on the road in the sheriff's department there and had his car. And before his shift, if we happened to be there on a Sunday and he was getting ready to go on shift, he'd wash his car.
Yep.
Get his car all nice and spiffy, and the boys would watch him do that, and then he'd go in and get his uniform.
That's right.
And make sure his shoes were polished and all this, and they're just kind of sitting there with their jaws hanging down, watching him get himself ready to go. And they were so impressed with that whole process, and seeing him come out then in his uniform with his badge and his gun, and you know, that does it has a significant impression on kids.
It does.
Really does, because of the way that our law enforcement folks comport themselves, and the impression that they give, and we need to make sure that kids look up to them, and because of that, but at the same time they're not afraid.
Exactly.
Friendship.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And you know, you keep your uniform. They always say you keep your uniform pressed and your shoes polished, and you act professional.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they really drill that into you. And you know, I remember this one kid. He asked. He said, "Well, what is so important about keeping your uniform pressed?" You know, and they said, "Well, you're a direct reflection of your department, but also the public expects you to look your best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to look professional."
Mm-hmm.
And that is right. You know, I got my creases in my patch. You know, I always want to make sure that I look my best. You know, on what every day, and that's every officer. If you look at their uniforms, you're like, wow. You know, we do take a lot of pride.
And that attention to detail.
Yes.
You know, and realizing that is important to people, and because that shows the folks out there that you do pay attention. You care about how you look.
That's
you care
right.
about them. You care about your department. You care about your town.
I'll tell you, one of the things that I have enjoyed being able to do is just something that is very, very, very close to me, but is to walk up to a policeman and just say thank you. And thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Even though you're a pain, I love you to death. No, but this is a nice guy, and he is just perfect for what he's doing. And I don't have to say that. That's kind of silly sometimes, but if it's done right, which he does, he's involved. And if you see this man on the street, tell him thank you, and you know, introduce your children.
Definitely. Yeah,
Definitely. Isn't that an easy thing to do?
Yes, it is. You know, and the thing is, I'm gonna go ahead and mention it, because officers, we don't like it. Don't tell your kids that you better watch out, he'll take you to jail. Don't tell them that. I have never in my career taken a little kid to jail. We don't do that. That's not what we do. And I correct them very quick. I'm like, no, we don't do that. We're here to help you. You know, and but I could speak for all law enforcement, because when they hear that, we could be eating and they're like, they're going to take you to jail. Yeah. And we no, because that's you're putting fear in them.
And I don't understand why parents do that. They do the same thing with nurses. They will threaten a child, if you don't be good, she'll stick you with a needle.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand that.
I don't
parents,
either.
You know,
I'm like, wow.
Parents, you're making your children afraid of the people who are here to protect them. Let's not do that. Let's make sure our children are not afraid of the folks that are there to serve them.
That is correct.
Well, we are grateful, and we're grateful that you have become part of, gosh, he's a Cable 12 person.
That's right.
But it's really nice, really neat. You're a good guy, and when I was growing up, that was the chief number one credit to give to a person on Long Island.
Long Island.
He's a good guy.
Good guy.
Yeah, that's the way you got to say it. He's a good guy.
Now, is Coney Island an actual place?
Yes, Coney Island is still there. It's had some fires and damages.
Right.
It's a place on Long Island.
Okay.
Yes. In toward the city.
Is that where the Coney is? Coney dog? Is that a hot dog?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Never had one.
Wow. I wish I was closer, I'd get you one. But I have always believed in the police department, and being a bank president, being a banker for years, you know, they always came in, and our former police chief here, he'd just come in and he'd just say, "How you doing, Mr. Shoemaker?" And I'd say, "I am fine, I am fine. How are you doing?" But it's nice to have, it's necessary, and it's proper. This piece of paper says, "Help celebrate local
Hero
Day."
All right, the three of us.
Yep, there it is.
And that's, what do you think? Now, you didn't come in here knowing that we were going to talk about you being special or a hero.
Oh no, I did not know that. But you know,
but I just decided today I've known you
today's
now.
the day.
And today you have to listen and shut up and don't arrest me.
No, you're fine.
No, it's really, really neat. And I just can't say, if you know I'm getting hung up on it because I appreciate them so very, very much. The business that I decided to get into 40 years, 50 years ago, I got to know a lot of policemen. And Horace, the first guy I talked to, I said, "A patrolman, a policeman." He said, "I'm a cop. You need me, call me." And I said, "Okay, this cop's a good guy too." You know? But see, that was New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting, but thank you, and I hope you don't mind us taking a few minutes to
I
talk
enjoy
with
it.
you about it, and just keep up, tell the chief, tell everybody just how much we appreciate it, and if there's anything we can do for you.
Definitely. And we thank you for having us on here. You know, part of interacting with the community is having to go on the radio, having to go on Cable 12, and I love it. I love doing it. I love. I remember when I first started how nervous I was. You remember me over there going, "I'm real nervous," and you're like, "Oh, we're just gonna have a conversation." And
he got over it though.
And we have a good time, and we greatly appreciate it. People do. They come up to me and they say, "I saw you on Cable 12. Good job," you know, and it's amazing. You guys have a lot of viewers, and you know, and we're getting our message out there, and that's what we're trying to do.
It's a good way to do it.
Now, right quick, you mentioned when you lived in Canada.
Yeah.
And about knowing police officers up there. Last year I took my my daughters to Police Week. This past week was Police Week, and that's where they all go to Washington D.C. A lot of policemen do from all over. What I thought was all over the country, but I met the Canadian Royal Mounted. That's right. Yeah, I was getting curious.
Yeah.
And so we've got our picture made with them in the bright red uniforms and everything else. And so after when we meet them, as we're talking to them, here comes some Australian police officers. So we got to meet some Australian and in England, Bobbies.
The Bobbies.
Yeah. And one of the things that my daughter Amber, I have 3 daughters, and Amber goes, "Dad, it seems like we were just talking. Their accents are different, but you guys are all the same." and I was like, "Yeah." And I said, "What do you mean? But our main goal, not just in the United States, but all over the world, the police officer mentality is the same." And and that's
and I'm glad it is.
It is. It's
because
great.
It makes me feel very comfortable. Quint Overton used to be he led that surge, because he'd just come up to me quietly and say, "Mr. Shoemaker." And of course, it turns out that eventually he was on the board at the bank, and then eventually his son became the chief of police. So it's a really nice thing, and these are wonderful people. If you have the good fortune to run into somebody and you're talking with them, tell them I'm glad to meet you and thank you.
That's it.
Yep.
And I have told you that.
Yes, sir.
And I'm glad to know you and thank you. So,
well, thanks for having me on this morning.
A great pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Keep up the good work.
Good to see you today.
Yes, ma'am. Nice seeing you.
I'm about shot. I just figured we're going to go home now. but because I was so interested in this local Hero Day and having such close connection with so many good people on the police force, I thought we ought to take a little more time and give them their opportunity. And we have the person that can talk more than anyone else. Oh, I didn't mean that negatively. I got you.
He is a good spokesperson.
Yeah, so it's very, very true, and I thank you very much, and make sure that the chief and everybody else hears how appreciative we are.
Definitely. He's got it on. He's probably watching it right now.
Okay. Sir. But it's very nice, and you feel better. You feel better. That's been my plan when you get into this kind of an area, because they're taking care of us. Okay? All right, we're going to stop now, take a break, and let him get out and continue to take care of the people of Franklin County and the city or town of Franklin. No, let me get that right again.
The town, that
Rocky
might be
Mount.
something to just reiterate to the folks out there is that in the county we have the sheriff's department with Sheriff Overton that is in the county, and in the town we have the police department.
Right, which is Chief Kreiner.
Chief Kreiner in the town. So
I'm getting old. I can't put that together in one sentence
the town
anymore.
has the dark blue
Thank you, Mommy. You really straightened me out this morning.
And the black and white cars.
That's why we have Local Hero Day.
Right, and the black and white cars, and in the county they have the brown uniforms and they have the tan cars.
She's observant.
So.
She is.
Don't do anything wrong.
She picked up on it.
She's going to get you.
She picked up on it.
And we have state police that are in gray cars, and they have sort of a grayish uniform, isn't it?
Yep, it sure is. They wear the all gray with the blue stripe.
Right, and they have the Smokey Bear hats.
Smokey the Bear hat. They put that hat on.
So
they all smile.
We're lucky. We're really lucky in this area that we have the folks that we have to take care of us.
All right, now you have taken over the show, and it was extremely important that we do this way, and I hope you didn't mind.
I didn't.
You didn't know it?
Not one bit.
And we just wanted to say thank you and extend that to the complete force and the sheriff's department and just anybody that's involved. And if there's ever anything we can do, please let us know.
Well, thank you very much, and it's the same. I extend that to you as well.
I feel good about it.
Well, there it is.
I feel good about it. Have you seen the Washington Iron Furnace?
I have not yet.
Well, that's in my backyard.
Yeah, that's what you keep.
I need to protect it. Would you come over, please? That's the only iron furnace still standing.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. You're right. It's about as big as this room, this entire building.
One of these days, you're going to wake up and there's going to be all kinds of people in your backyard, and you're going to be like,
that's no problem. I just like to know they're coming. But really, that's very good, and bring your family.
I will.
You know? And
I will. I've told you that, and I will.
Haven't got there yet, so that's all right. We'll see. All right, we're going to take a break now, and we'll come back and finish up in short order. So please stay where you are, and I'm sorry if you were in the middle of your breakfast or what, because we just ran our mouths here for straight through. But it was something important that I wanted to get to, and I thank you for paying attention. We'll be back in just a few moments, and we got about 30, 40 minutes to go. So please stay where you are. Welcome back. We are sitting here having a good time, and I hope you didn't mind us taking some of the time to deal with and support and explain a little bit and let you know how much we at Cable 12 feel for the wonderful work done by the police and the sheriff and everybody in that kind of area in the community. And get your children involved in it and have them understand how important it is, and don't hesitate to say thank you. And you know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Mm-hmm. We will leave that with you. Now we got a couple more things to go over today. Yes, I am, you know, most people know that I've been sick and making it out here most mornings, but I'm feeling better, and I'm going to go home. My wife's going to say, "You couldn't shut up, could you?" And I'm going to say, "Yeah, I'm feeling better." I hope you don't mind, folks. I'm just going to go through these papers here and see what else we have here to talk to you. Ooh, talking about something. What is this? Tuesday, May 18th. A town hall event. I did read this. The Club Heatherwood. There's an evening presentation there by Sheriff W.Q. Bill Overton. He's a junior. I had the good fortune of being involved closely. The senior Overton was on the Banks board, and we just enjoyed the heck out of him. But his son is the sheriff now. Office of the Sheriff presents a town hall event. Now, I'm sure you've all heard about it, but it's something that's taking place in Boone's Mill. Where is Boone's Mill, somebody says. What does that have to... All Franklin County residents are invited to the Heatherwood Club in Boone's Mill. That's on Heatherwood Drive in Boone's Mill. Sheriff Bill Overton invites out, and I'll read the rest of it. Sheriff Bill Overton invites the public to come out on this evening for information sharing, discussion, and a time for questions. Refreshments will be provided. It'd be a nice thing to show your support for the Sheriff's Department and police in general. We're so fortunate to have them. I forgot I had this, and we were sitting here talking about this, and it would have been kind of appropriate to bring it up, but didn't want to make him feel bad about it, and you know, to say we're pointing at him. But a town hall event, it's called, and the sheriff will be there. That's Bill Overton, and that's at the Club Heatherwood on Heatherwood Drive in Boone's Mill. They've got a phone number that I don't know what it is. I used to know it, but it's right there in Boone's Mill, and it's easy to find. But all Franklin County residents are invited to attend, and it goes hand in hand with meeting the police and getting to know them. That's right. Which is what we do here, and we did it a little bit extra today.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I'm so much involved and so much aware of how important it is. So, a couple other things. Local Rotary Club donation donated $400 to the police. That's good. And there's too many things going on. I'm just trying to pull something out here that we can... Henry Fork Church of the Brethren. It was a luncheon. Was, is, shall be a luncheon. And I'm sorry I can't tell you about that. Isn't this something? It doesn't say. It has a flag on it.
I think that maybe was inside the brochure about the Memorial Day service. I believe that's an addition to that.
If that's what it is, then
I think maybe.
God bless us all.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that we got a chance to explain it. But it's a good thing. things going on up at the park and everywhere. Oh, and then don't forget that you've got the Franklin County Veterans Memorial Day, May 29. That will be right out there at the corner. You know where Johnny's store is? Right down the street from that. But it's the same place, Veterans Day, it's the same place, and Memorial Day, it's the same place, 4th of July, it's the same place that you go to all the time. And go over there and visit, see them, and just the statement that I always enjoy is Tom Campbell. Who's Tom Campbell? He's a patriot. He said the patriot's blood is the seed of freedom's tree. But Franklin County Veterans Memorial Park will be 11 o'clock May 29th at the, right there.
And I think that other little piece of paper that you have was the insert that goes in the middle of that, I believe.
Whatever it was a good one.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put it back in there, and if somebody says, why are you putting that in there? And I say, I don't know, some lady told me to. So that's all right. But that takes place on Memorial Day. And my thanks to the Franklin County Veterans Memorial Commission. BW, you do the job. You're something. And all of them that work, he's the head guy this year, and generally heavily involved, but great people doing great things. There's some other things here. If you want to cover some of those, please, ma'am, I would appreciate it.
Well, we have the Ramble Weekend coming up. Officer King mentioned that that's also going on the same weekend, but I'm sure that it will appeal to different people than the Heroes Day did. The Ramble Weekend, May 19th through 21st, is a 5K run. There's paddling and a night float, canoe and kayak races, a great duck race, food, music, and camping. There's different packages that you can participate in. And for more information, you can go to playfranklincounty.com. That's a big Ramble Weekend. It's sponsored by Smoot Construction and several others, Assured Comfort Beds, McAirlades, Long & Foster, Davis Law Firm, Orion Solutions, the Folding Boat Company, Trockham Chiropractor, Proline Trailers, Town of Rocky Mount, Carillion Member One, 220 Auto Sales, Humana, and Roanoke Outside. So that's the Ramble Weekend coming up this weekend, May 19th through 21st. And go to playfranklincounty.com to find out more about that. So that's going to be a great weekend. Then we have on Saturday at Wade Creek, we have the Masons Creek Concert. So you can go downtown, take the kids down to Mary Elizabeth Park during the day and go to the Heroes event and see all of the police officers and fire and rescue and so forth. And then that night for the family, go down to Masons Creek Concert at Wade Park, 6 to 8 p.m. with outdoor games and food trucks, and it sounds like a lot of fun. That's really sad. And then we've talked about this one several times, but it's a neat thing to go ahead and put on your calendar for June, July, and August once the kids are out of school, and that's the Summer Concert Series. And it varies depending on the day where it's located. June 2nd, it's in Antioch Community Park, 8 p.m. They're playing Pets. And on June 16th, Burn Chimney Elementary School, at 8:15, they're playing the BFG. You know what that stands for?
It's a giant.
Big Friendly Giant, that's right. And on July 14th at Snow Creek Community Ballpark, it's Kubo at 8:15. July 20th at Smith Mountain Lake Park Beach, it's Moana at 8 p.m. August 11th, Jamison Mill Park is Monster Trucks at 7:45. And August 25th, Crossroads Rotan Club. This is when you have to practice your singing muscles because it's Sing at 7:30. There will be games for the kids up until dark, and then the movie start at dark.
I am very much aware of that, and there's a lot of good movies being shown. And I was just thinking, I'm not sure that I've ever told you that I have lots of children in the family. 35 grandchildren.
Wow, yeah.
6 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
And, you know, so it wears me out sometimes. But they're all going to be, if the ones that are here are all going to be involved.
Be able to go.
And you may have met one of my grandsons who comes down and helps us a little bit, Will, and he's good. Yeah, he's going to college next year.
Wow.
If you see Will, tell him congratulations. He's still working at the depot and still doing stuff here for the. We're so proud of Will. Will is on the board at the Transportation Museum.
Great.
As well, right now an 18-year-old, but he's been on the board for 6 years. Right. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, there are a lot of
so many things
out there people that nonprofits that need board members in this community.
Even 19-year-old
board
members.
Absolutely. We depend upon our boards to help us with lots of things, and so if you have a particular cause that appeals to you that you'd like to help out, offer to be on their board. It's not hard. People sometimes are afraid because they think it's a challenging thing to do, but it really just means that you care about that organization and about their mission and that you want to support them. And so volunteer. It might be with the Humane Society, it might be with the free clinic, it might be with STEP. We're always looking for people that want to be on our board and want to help us out. So. And we'll, anybody 18 and older.
That's necessary, but Franklin County Choral Showcase, we've talked about this, but I'm going to tell you.
Coming up Friday night.
Yep, that's this Friday night at the Faith Fellowship Church, and it's representing Beulah Baptist, Doe Run Christian, Boones Mill Christian, Faith Fellowship Church, Holy Trinity Baptist, Fairview Church of the Brethren, and Halesford United Methodist Church. We got every religion pretty nearly out there, but great things. And we've had the people in here, and good guy, and just don't forget that again. It's what day?
It's Friday the 19th.
Look at that, she is really doing well.
It's at 6:30, and there's no cost to get in. They will take up a love offering. So please come. The love offering goes to benefit the Disability Rights and Resource Center. So it's a really good cause, and I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful evening. If you like a variety of music, because there's a variety of music styles that will be presented.
See, I'm just looking through my paperwork and I'm finding things that are gone.
That's right.
Don't forget the Rocky Mount Tree Walk. We have talked about that, and it's still out there, and if you want to go out and take a look at the trees in the central town, Rocky Mount, and there is a place that you can pick up these at the library, and let's see, there's 18 trees on there. So if you want to see a few trees that have a perfectly wonderful identifying features and how to do it and what you can do, and
you get some exercise while you're at it. You do some walking and get to know the different trees, and it's kind of one of those things where you get some exercise for the body and some knowledge for the soul. So there you go.
I don't have knowledge for the soul, and I can't do exercise for the body. What do I do, Mommy? What do I do? Who knows? All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say today, ma'am?
I'd just say, hope that everybody has a wonderful week. And all to those mothers out there, a belated Happy Mother's Day. I hope you had a wonderful day, and I hope we're going to have a great week.
I lost a neighbor a week ago, and he moved away. My right-hand guy on the right hand of my house, the house is for sale. Wonderful people. I'll just leave it with you like that. They're in Florida now. So that I miss, and anybody going by there, just, that's what's happening. So just keep you up on that. Everything else is fine, and thank you very much, madam. It's
my pleasure.
Been very good to sit and talk with you. And to talk to all those people. They're all our friends and all out there. And if there's anything we can do for you, or there's something that needs to be done, let us know. If there's some way that we might be able to help, tell us. Okay? You have anything else?
I will just say I won't be with you on Wednesday. I'm actually going to the Virginia Volunteerism Conference, and I'm a speaker there, so I have a couple of presentations to do tomorrow and Wednesday. So
well, I'm going to call them and
Wednesday.
Tell them to send me the results. But seriously, that's nice.
It's always a good conference if you are a volunteer or if your organization works with volunteers.
And what's the name of it again?
It's the Virginia Virginia Conference on Volunteerism.
Got a conference on that now?
Let's go to find out. Oh, it's been going on for years. But it's a good
way
to
for
go.
years.
Yes,
Where have I been?
But you go and find out about, a lot of it is for organizations that use volunteers, and it helps those organizations know how to organize their volunteers and recognize their volunteers, and it's a good thing. It'll be good, but I won't see you on Wednesday.
I mean, I'm going to miss her. I don't like to do this as much as I used to by myself because I'm getting too old, but don't worry, I'll be here for a while. The Harvester is going strong. There's a lot of good shows down there. Be sure that if you wish, what is today's date?
Today's the 15th.
15th. May 15th. 17th, Christopher Cross. Wow. You missed the other Chris.
Christopherson,
right?
yeah.
He came on Friday the 13th. Yeah. Or at least on the 13th. So they are doing great things over there. So go in and, if you haven't been there, pick a date and go in and take the family and enjoy yourself. So many good things going on in Franklin County. Take advantage of them, okay? And as you so eloquently said, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. And if everything goes well, oh, I see. Somebody just yelled, they ain't going to do anything else but. All right, I'm with you. And God bless each and every one of you.